Universal Kids Resort in Texas is now open. Unfortunately, the concept art doesn't quite match real life. Hello, welcome to Geekism, and welcome back to Planet Coaster 2. Something a little different today, just a one-off build purely for the beams. We're going to build the Brutalist Minions ride from the Universal Kids Resort. So there's going to be some of you who have clicked on this and are chuckling away at what's happening here. I imagine there's going to be some of you who haven't got a clue what I'm talking about. So whilst the video plays of the build here, I'm going to let you all know what we're looking at here. So Universal Kids Resort, then, it's in Frisco, Texas, and it has recently opened and is a mid-budget park suitable for families with young children, sort of ages 3 to about 8, I guess. I think I could take my son's 8. I think I could take my son here, and he would probably enjoy himself. But honestly, he enjoys himself if you give him a rock in the garden. So he's probably not the best example. But I think it's mostly aimed at younger kids. And it's got a fair old bit of flack for its release. It's pretty low budget. Now, I say it's pretty low budget. The budget estimate for it is around about $500 million, $550 million or something like that is what I saw. And that seems like a lot. I suppose if you compare it to something like Epic Universe, they imagine the budget to be around $7 billion. You can see that it is quite low. But saying that, I don't think there's necessarily something wrong with doing a lower budget park, even when it sounds ridiculous saying lower budget when I'm talking about $500 million, but I think low budget parks can work very well, especially if they are in what we would consider to be theme park deserts, meaning places where there isn't that much already, although Texas does have a few, larger parks. There's a Six Flags and a few other bits and bobs, but still, for the most part, they're very far away from either of the sort of coasts, so they're not seeing the Californian or the Floridian parks as easily. So I think there's actually something to be said about spending less money and having something that's focused more on younger kids, which I think is a great idea, and also just local families in general. This isn't a park that's attempting to pull people in from outside of the state, I don't imagine, really. But it still needs to be good. It still needs to have that sort of least what's the word, sort of minimum viable product, which I don't really think this has, looking at sort of videos and stuff. So it actually opened only a couple of days ago at time of recording this, but it's been open for a couple of weeks for various sort of press outlets, influencers, all of that kind of stuff have been able to go down and check it out. So these are the folks who are probably doing their best to show this place off in a good light, actually. And we're still seeing some real sort of issues with the space. So yeah, I don't think this has been very well implemented, unfortunately, because of that. The biggest problem I have with the place is the intense lack of shading and shaded areas. Something that Universal have only just started to deal with at their other newest park, Epic Universe. One of the biggest sort of opening day complaints there was, again, a sort of lack of shade. And obviously, a lot of the planting in these places is at an early stage and will be developed over the years and will grow over the years. But even still, some of the areas look just so open and bare. There desperately needs to be some extra trees or canopies or shaded areas. I think from what I can tell, they've done a pretty good job of implementing water features into the park. There are various fountains, splash pads, and water rides. There's actually a pretty cool flat ride in the SpongeBob SquarePants area that it's like a spinning teacups kind of ride, but it has water guns on it, and you can shoot other teacups or even some people watching you nearby, which I think is quite neat. And honestly, that's where I feel so sad about this place, is because the ride lineup, it's actually pretty good. It is very much aimed at a much younger crowd. It is families with young children, but even still, there are 2 full coaster credits. There is this water track ride. There is a electric car ride, and then numerous flats. I think the ride count in total is around 30, 35, something like that. So lots and lots of stuff for kids to do. A really good selection, and overall good choice. I just think a lot of the areas feel very unfinished. They feel very open. They feel very low budget, and not in a good way, not in a fun, janky way. Just in a why didn't they spend more money on this way? And I think, in some parts, the universal branding is going to give this place a tougher job of just getting locals in and being happy with what they've got, because you are expecting Universal Studios when you walk into this place for the first time, I think, because of the branding. And obviously the branding does bring a great amount of IP to the park. There's a Shrek area, there's a Minions area, Puss in Boots I think gets its own area, SpongeBob, Jurassic World, and one or two others that I can't think off the top of my head. But they really do seem to have squandered those IPs. Partly, I think, just because of mismanagement. I think it hasn't been put together very well. I think the budget could have been spent better on other things, but I don't really know how much any of this really costs. I just get a feeling that from looking at other stuff and knowing what other stuff costs, it does feel like they haven't used a budget very well here. The other thing I think has been a bit of a problem with this build is that the local government, the local council, the sort of town government, they haven't been very forward thinking with this either. I think it's had a lot of problem with NIMBYs, and because of that, they actually can't have dark rides, they can't have fireworks, they can't have any loud noises after 9 p.m, and I think for the most part that makes sense. I don't think this is a sort of park that would have a fireworks show or loud noises after 9 p.m. I think probably what the problem is here is that locals have had a look at or know of things like Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios, and have thought that that's what's coming here. And it's not. It is a local level kids theme park that just happens to have licenses rather than knockoffs, basically. But yeah, because of the fears from locals, they put relatively strong restrictions on them. The height of roller coasters can't go over the tree line, something as a local to Alton Towers growing up I'm very aware of. But even Alton Towers in their heyday would use that limitation as an advantage and come up with interesting designs that you wouldn't find anywhere else. That isn't what's happened here at all, unfortunately. These are fairly run-of-the-mill, off-the-shelf rides, and they just haven't been very well implemented. It's all outdoors because for some reason they're not allowed dark rides, and it just looks hot. It just looks like you are absolutely baking in this place, unfortunately. Some of the sort of responses to the negative feedback have been interesting as well. There were some people who said, well, it's just for kids. I don't know what you expect. Don't come into this with a theme park enthusiast head on. It's just for kids. I have detested the just for kids argument in any form, wherever it comes, whether it's a bad movie or a bad food experience or a bad theme park experience. The excuse that it's just for kids should never be used to settle a poor experience. Kids are just as worthy of having incredible entertainment and care and thought put into their experiences as adults are, and even ignoring that, the argument that it's just for kids is useless, because parents have got to enjoy their time here and feel like they're getting value for money as well, because the money at the end of the day is coming out of their pockets. So I feel like the just for kids argument is ridiculous. I just wanted to point that out in case anyone came to the comments. Anyway, let's turn this into something fun, because yes, it's fun to see this kind of weird, janky theme park and make a bit of a meme out of it, but it's maybe a little bit negative to what people are used to here on the channel. So let's turn this around into something much more interesting and fun. I'm actually going to run a competition using this build. This build is now already available on the workshop for you to go and grab. There will be a link in the description, and I'm tasking you with the job of fixing it. Other than that, I'm actually purposefully not going to put too many limitations on this project, because I kind of want to see what you folks come up with. So fixing it can mean whatever you feel like it means to you. It can be coming in and adding actual animatronics. It could be coming in and acting a lot more foliage. It could be coming in and reworking the second half of the ride that we don't really do much with in this video. It could be completely stripping it out, removing the minion theme and starting with something else completely. whatever you creatively feel like you need to do to fix this ride, I want to see it, basically. I want to see what people are able to do. And not just for the glory, there will be a prize as well. I will get the best one, a copy of the Parades DLC for Planet Coaster 2, or if you've already got it, I'll just chuck your Steam gift card for the value. So yeah, if you haven't picked up Parades DLC yet and you would like to, this may be a chance to get it for free. If you have got the Parades DLC and would like to join in with this anyway, I'll chuck a Steam gift card at you if I think yours is the best one. So I'm going to leave this open for a couple of weeks. All you have to do is re-upload your build to the workshop with the hashtag Brutalist Minion. That's Brutalist Minion. You can also make sure I get to see it by throwing a link to me on Discord or on Blue Sky, or I think you can even do messages here on YouTube. All the links for all of that sort of stuff will be down below in the comments. But however you can, by hook or by crook, hell or by high water, get your version of this to me, and I will pull out some of my favorites and make a video where we look over some of them, and then the best one will win themselves a copy of the Parades Pack DLC. As far as this build goes, then, it's not a one-for-one at all, a recreation here. I'm basing what I'm building here off of 3 or 4 photos that people have put on social media, basically. There's one sort of ride POV, but rapids are famously difficult to watch in POV because they're spinning around constantly, but that helped sort of lay out some of how this works. But I haven't done a complete recreation, one because this is meant to be a one-off funny build for the memes, and here it is, and 2, it's difficult to know quite where some of this goes, and I wanted to leave the sort of second half of it open so that if you wish to extend the ride as part of your fixing of this, you can do. So there you go. We've built the Brutalist Minion water ride. The kids, they yearn for the Brutalist Minions. And we're going to turn it into something good and give away the copy of the Praise Pack DLC for whoever can fix this. And how you fix it is completely up to you. I'm very excited to see what you all do. So yeah, throw it onto the workshop with the hashtag Brutalist Minion. Send me a link to it as well if you want to. I will do my best to find them all, look at them all, and I'll pick the best ones and put them on a video in a couple of weeks' time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Until the next one, be good.